Watch this, guys. It fires right up. Alrighty, folks, I'm back. I'm back at you from the Odyssey Life Garage with a Honda Odyssey FL250 free giveaway machine video for you. I know it's been a while since we've had a free giveaway machine video, but it's only because we're always waiting on parts. Now that we got the part to mount our seat finally, which prevented us from doing anything as far as riding, because you can't ride without the seat. And we got the battery box back, we got the air cleaner, everything that's going to allow us to assemble the machine and then do some proper testing. You can help the giveaway happen by subscribing, sharing, watching, liking. Don't forget to comment. All those things are free and they only take a second. So, all right, folks, let's get to work. So as I said, we have all the parts. We have our brand new upholstered seat, our heat shield, our rear fenders, air box lid. We have our battery box and the rear taillight bracket. So we'll start, before we put our seat in, let's go ahead and get our battery box installed so we can get our wiring down here loomed back up and get all this stuff wrapped up so we don't have to, you know, worry about crawling under here after we get the seat on. So let's start there. Let's start by getting our battery box, that installed, and everything else so we can move on to put our seat in. All right, guys, let's start there. All right, guys, I got tired of sitting on the floor, and yeah, it's been a long time coming. We got a comfy seat to actually work on and roll around. We've been on the floor for almost 3 years. We finally get off the floor. So, all right, guys, let's get back to work. Alrighty, now that all of our wiring underneath is all loomed and you know, stowed away, all secure up in the frame rail, we can move on back and start with that mess right there. Alright, guys, let's move on to some back electrical loom and stow. Alright, guys, let's move back. Alrighty, gang, I don't know about you, but the battery box looks so much better red than it did black. It blends right in. Doesn't look like a big black box sitting on top of a sea of red. But as you can see, our Honda Odyssey FL250 giveaway machine, I consider our electrical complete. Everything's loomed. All the places that there were splices in the loom have been taped. Everything's been double checked, and triple checked. So yeah, now that we got our electrical wrapped up, we've got all of our connections down inside the frame. We've got all them loomed, got all our wiring there. We can go ahead, seal up our steering wheel, and then we can install our brand new seat. All right, guys, we're getting momentum. We could have this done and riding by the end of the video. So let's keep our nose to the grindstone and let's get back to work. Super excited. Progress is being made. So the bolts for these tracks are a 13 millimeter. So let's go ahead and let's remove these tracks so we can install our seat back. All right, guys. Now that we have our tracks removed, let's go ahead and install them on our seat back. So now we install our tracks. We want the track with the slide on the left-hand side when you're sitting in it, and we want the regular track on the right. Let's go ahead and install our bolts with our lock washers. Alrighty guys, we got our seat bracket installed. We just need to put our bolts and lock washers in. So let's go ahead, let's put our bolts and lock washers in. Alrighty, our seat bracket's installed, guys, firmly with stainless steel hardware and lock washers. So next, we're gonna go ahead and install our seat bottom, guys. This is so sexy. I'm so excited about this. All right, guys. I am so super stoked at the way that looks. So let's hurry up and let's get our seat back on so we can see how it looks with a whole seat. All right, guys, let's put this in time lapse so we can be done. Okay, let's continue on with cleaning up this mess, and let's get our steering wheel cover finally installed. That'll clean this whole area up, and it'll give it a big thumbs up and a seal of approval for being completed and checked off the list. So let's go ahead and throw some Phillips head screws into our steering wheel cover and call that done. So let's start by, I don't want to mount the new tires before we mount the new fenders. So let's go ahead and get a Sharpie so we know where to drill these out. I got brand new stainless steel fender washers, fender bolts. So let's go ahead and get into our brand new fenders finally. All right, guys. We've got one measurement right now for our two main bolts at the top, these two right here. I went ahead and looked at this FL250 I've got sitting over here that has factory fenders that have never been off, and I saw the way the factory mounted them, and I know that these slots are close to where the mark should be. So on both sides, the distance between the mounting locations is 7 1/8 inches on both sides. So that looks a lot better. So we're going to do this in a two-step process, only because I don't want to crack the plastics and I want to be more accurate with our holes. So we're going to start with a smaller hole first and then drill out to our size, one size bigger than our bolts. So we want to allow a little room, a little wiggle room but don't want them to be too loose, but don't want them to be too tight, because under vibration they'll crack if they're too tight, same as if they're too loose. So all right, let's go ahead and drill. We are perfect, gentlemen. There we be. Let's go ahead and drill the other one, and then we can put them both on at the same time. Alrighty, so let's start by installing the battery box side fender, and that's the one that we drilled last. Oh, I love new plastics. Let's go ahead and let's get our tires installed. I've got I've got all brand new stainless steel hardware, nuts, lock washers, and flat washers to match our DWT racing rims. Super excited, so let's go ahead, jack this up, and let's get these tires on. All right, guys, one more step closer to this baby getting complete and somebody driving away with her. All right, guys, super excited. And it's Memorial Day weekend. We should be at Mudfest right now, but instead we're in the garage because U-Haul decided to rent our truck. So first thing we're going to do this morning is we're going to wash our foot tub by hand with fresh water. We're going to rinse it first, and then we're going to do soap and water, and then we're going to rinse it again. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to hand wash our foot tub. And we have the foot rubbers in the bottom to install. I did get some black grip tape for our ribs going down to the foot rubbers. I did get us some grip tape. So let's go ahead, let's rinse off this foot tub, and then yeah, we'll get to washing it with soap and water. All right, guys, I know it's boring, but it's just what I'm doing. All right, guys, happy Memorial Day. Guess we're spending it together in the OL garage. All right, guys, let's get back to work. Now that we've gone ahead with a nice slippery layer of soap, we swabbed her down with love. Now we got this bucket of fresh water here that I intentionally didn't get soap into. It was hard. I kept wanting to dip my rag. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and rinse this off, then let it dry, and then we're going to wipe it with the Armor All wipes. I don't have any wax or anything. So, all right, guys, let's go ahead and let's rinse this foot tub off. I don't think for my first foot tub, I don't think I could have done a better job. I mean, the paint's really nice. It's not flaking. We have decals and stuff for all this, so don't worry about that. Super awesome, guys. Now we can wipe it down with some. Now we're gonna wipe it down with our. I'm so excited right now. This machine looks so nice. Let's just step back and take a look at it. So let's go ahead. Let's finish wiping down the front end with the Armor All wipes and get this baby looking nice. And then we're going to install our components in the rear so we can get the carb tuned and take this baby for her first ride. All right, guys, let's keep working towards the goal of getting this thing 100% complete. All right, guys, let's do this. Let's finish our foot tub off finally by installing these beautifully restored foot rubbers that Joe from iATV lightly bead blasted and then wiped with a WD-40 almost 6, 7, 8 months ago, and they still look brand new. Fantastic. So he said the easiest way to put these in is to drill the holes in our foot tub one size bigger than what they are now, and that these little rubber plugs should go in easier but still lock in and remain in place. I've got our drill bit and our drill, and we're going to pick a drill bit that's one size bigger than the holes that's in the foot tub so we can install these foot rubbers. All right, guys, because we want to get these foot rubbers installed so when we go for our first ride, we're not scuffing up our beautiful foot tub. So, all right, guys, let's drill these holes and install these rubbers. All right, now that we've drilled our holes, let's see if we can get these foot rubbers in here. We got this big one here that goes up here, and there's 9 holes. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to use some WD-40. All right, and that front valance right now is just being held on by 2 10mm bolts. All right, we do have the, let me go ahead and push this back a little bit. Don't they look amazing? More amazing than what I thought they would look in our fresh foot tub. Now it's starting to look official. Pulling that valance off was the best idea I had all day. It only took 1 second per little plug with our, after we drilled our hole one size bigger. In fact, our drill was a 21/64. That's what size we drilled them out to. So it worked out perfect. We got our foot rubbers in. Everything looks fantastic. As you can see from the underside, all of our nipples are there. All the ones under here are there. The underneath of that machine looks sexy. Super proud of this. I can't wait to give it away. Alright guys, now we can move out back and get our carb installed, our breather, and our air box with the new element and everything else. Alright guys, let's keep moving forward. Alrighty gang, next I'm going to reinstall our carburetor. You guys have already seen that. If you haven't, you can go back to the FL250 build playlist and check that video out. I'm going to do this in time lapse because I really want to get to firing this thing up. So let's go ahead, install our carb, get our air filter and stuff hooked up. Let's just install our carb and then we'll see what happens. All right guys, let's do this. All right folks, I'm super excited. We had her idling for a second and then I noticed, I don't know if you could see how wet it is right here, but we got a fuel leak. It's not letting our vacuum build up. It's sucking air through here. So I'm going to go ahead, cut that section out, remove that clamp, and put a traditional clamp on there. Then we're going to idle. All right, guys, I'll see you in a second. How's that sound, guys? I think it sounds amazing.